Just wanted to share a few things that I've seen inside a particular acquisition that I'm looking with a group that will hopefully kind of give you some insights as a buyer and a seller what to look at. So essentially we're looking at a business. It's owner operated. He doesn't do too much in the business. He spends a bit of time in there, but he's running a few of his kind of, let's say, personal expenses and being tax efficient through the business, which he's added onto the profit as add backs. For him, the way that he's done it to be tax efficient, it's really hard for us as buyers to verify what's a legitimate add back and what's not. So, as the buyers, we're not, prepared to take that on. There's ways we're looking at structuring that to make it work for both. But, if you're thinking about selling and you're putting personal expenses or one-off expenses through the business, it's really important to either take them out for a period of time so you can show a buyer what the real numbers are with that removed, or have them categorized in a way in your accounting software that you can easily show that those expenses are not going to continue on. The second one is, presentation of the business. We visited the site a couple of weeks ago, and when we arrived there, it was a mess. It's a factory with an office upstairs. The factory was fairly dirty. Obviously cleanliness isn't necessarily a focus right now. It's an older business, and it's run that way. But when you're selling your business, you want to present it in a way that kind of makes a buyer excited, right? It kind of makes them feel excited about being on the location. Final one is understanding customer concentration and who makes up what percentage of your revenue. This business does a mixture of B2B and B2C, and they work with some big clients, government, big construction firms, all of that kind of stuff. And unfortunately, the way they report on their income, they can't easily pull out the percentages of those clients for us to assess risk, which makes it harder for us as buyers to kind of understand what the risk is. So we need to, again, consider structures to minimize the risk from our side while keeping the seller engaged. So just a few things to think about from as both buyers and sellers. If you're selling, obviously think about those things long before you get to the point of going to market, because you want to have that all cleaned up for a buyer to show.